Okay, here I am with a review of another mini camera. This one's slightly different from some of the other cameras I've reviewed, and I'll explain why in a moment. But first we'll go through what comes in the packet. So first of all you get the mini camera itself, the usual software for using it as a webcam, etc. The instruction leaflets, there it is, the car DVR D011. You get a 1.5 meter USB lead, which is quite long, and there'll be a reason for that because it plugs into this thing, which is a 12 volt car adapter. And the idea with this camera is it's supposed to be used inside a car. It continuously records and records over the oldest clip once the memory card is full. The idea behind this is that you clip it into the holder that comes supplied with it, attach it to your car windscreen and use it to continuously record all your journeys. And then if an event were to happen, you've got footage of that particular incident that you could maybe use for insurance purposes, etc. Although I've been driving over 20 years and I've never crashed into anything. So you'd have to use it an awful lot or be a very bad driver to get the real use out of it that it's intended for. The internal battery inside the camera will last for about an hour on one charge according to the manual. But there's no need to be restricted to that because if you connect it to your car lighter socket, you can record indefinitely. And unusually this camera can record and charge at the same time. The camera records its footage onto micro SD cards, and the maximum size of card that it will accept is a 16 GB, which is good for about 5 hours worth of footage. The footage on the memory card is split into 5-minute segments, each of which are between 250 and 300 megabytes in size. When the memory card's nearly full, the camera just re-records over the oldest footage and does this indefinitely, a little bit like a security camera in a shop. There's no way to stop this happening, so you've got to be careful that you don't re-record over something that you wanted to keep. As you can see from this footage, the supplied holder for the camera actually does quite a good job of reducing the vibrations, and you can point it in all sorts of different directions, as I'm demonstrating now, to get different kinds of views. A couple of suggestions that I'd have if they were redesigning this camera: those indicator lights on the top are no use when you're looking at the camera from the back, from the driver's view here. You've got no idea whether it's actually recording or not. And secondly, it revolves quite easily in the holder, and as you can see from the earlier footage, I had most of it at a slightly obtuse angle, so it could really do with having a sort of centre point to clip into. And then something else it does, if you twist it round here, you can quite easily switch it on or off, because the button rubs against the holder. Anyway, enough moaning because nothing's perfect. I've now attached it to the top of my motorcycle helmet with some duct tape, and I'll have a drive out and we'll have a look what that footage looks like. Now this bit's quite interesting. When I was filtering between this traffic on my scooter, you'll see up ahead some of the cars are coming across the junction. The lights are just changing green, and as I drive through here, well, there was a brilliant scene where everything nearly crashed, but unfortunately I don't have that footage. And the reason for that is that every time the camera splits the footage into a new 5-minute segment, it misses off the 2 seconds between the file being created and the recording starting again. Now it's only 2 seconds, so it's not such a big deal, but I thought I should point out that this might not be a completely foolproof way to record every single thing that happens. I mean, the one time something nearly did happen in front of me, I actually missed it, which is a bit disappointing. But here I am anyway on the scooter. I've got the camera taped, as you can see again, at a bit of an angle on the helmet, but I can't blame the holder this time, that's down to the operator. The video is recorded at that same strange 740 by 480 resolution that's favoured by most of these micro cameras, including the keyring camera. It's recorded at 30 frames a second, and I don't notice any drop frames. The footage is quite rich and well balanced as far as colour and light and dark goes, but the camera's still got a rather narrow field of view, which is unfortunate as I was hoping for a wide angle lens on this camera. The overall construction of this camera is very good. It's metal, and inside the back here is where the micro SD card goes, the USB charging slot, and there's an on-off switch at the back there, which if you actually turn it off you lose the time and date settings, so you tend to leave that on continuously. Now here's how it operates. You tap that button, a blue light comes on, it goes to orange. That means it'll record video. You tap it, the green light at the bottom corner starts flashing. That means it's recording video. Tap it again, and the green light goes off, means it's paused. Tap again, recording video again. and tap again, we've stopped. Now you can get into photo mode. Hold it down, and when the orange light goes out, it will now take photos. So one tap, the green light flashes, it takes a photo. Tap again, another photo. Right, so now we want to get it back to video, so hold it down, the orange light comes back on. Right, we're back in video mode again. So tap to record, the green light flashes, which indicates that it's recording video again. Tap again, and it goes into standby again, and hold, and it'll switch off completely when the blue light flashes. That's really complicated, to be honest. They should have put things on more than one switch. It will also go into standby for 30 seconds when you first tap the switch and switch itself back off again. So if you do accidentally tap it inside your pocket, you won't tend to record footage unless you tap it again within 30 seconds. Now you can tell that this thing was supposed to be a torch because this end comes off. So there's absolutely no need for that to come off at all. So what I think they've done here, they've put a video camera inside a torch case. And that'll be why they tried to squeeze all the controls onto the one switch that would have been the torch's on-off button. Now I'll do the usual video quality comparison with the DVK A28 keyring camera. So first of all, here's the footage from the keyring camera. And make sure you listen out for the difference in the sound quality as well. Right, so here's the car camera. The sound's definitely more muffled, but that's not really a problem inside a car, and the footage is identical. Just a couple more things to say. When the power lead's attached, the micro SD card's exposed, and when it's charging it looks a little bit like a disco. I can't imagine anyone would really take a photo with this camera, but in the interest of completeness, here's one. It takes them at a resolution of 1280 by 1024, and finally one more thing, you can use it as a webcam as long as you install the software from the disk. So here it is in use as a webcam. So to sum up, this camera does what it sets out to do really well, although whether anyone actually needs a camera in their car is another question. But if you think you do, this one works pretty well. As usual, it could do with a wider angle lens, and it's got slightly weird control issues, but for £16, which is what it cost me delivered from eBay, I can't really complain. So overall, recommended. Thanks for watching.